The philosophers have only interpreted the world, in various ways. The point, however, is to change it. Workers of the world, unite. You have nothing to lose but your chains. Religion is the sigh of the oppressed creature, the heart of a heartless world, and the soul of soulless conditions. It is the opium of the people. The history of all previous societies has been the history of class struggles. From each according to his ability, to each according to his needs. Capital is dead labor, which, vampire-like, lives only by sucking living labor, and lives the more labor it sucks. The production of too many useful things results in too many useless people. The theory of communism may be summed up in one sentence: abolish all private property. The oppressed are allowed once every few years to decide which particular representatives of the oppressing class are to represent and repress them. The education of all children, from the moment that they can get along without a mother's care, shall be in state institutions at state expense. Capital is reckless of the health or length of life of the laborer, unless under compulsion from society. The rich will do anything for the poor but get off their backs. The ruling ideas of each age have ever been the ideas of its ruling class. The more the division of labor and the application of machinery extend, the more does competition extend among the workers, the more do their wages shrink together. Sell a man a fish, he eats for a day; teach a man how to fish, you ruin a wonderful business opportunity. The theory of the communists may be summed up in the single sentence: abolition of private property. Reason has always existed, but not always in a reasonable form. Workers of the world, unite. History repeats itself, first as tragedy, second as farce. The oppressed are allowed once every few years to decide which particular representatives of the oppressing class are to represent and repress them. The first requisite for the happiness of the people is the abolition of religion. Religion is the opium of the masses. The capitalist class will never voluntarily surrender its power. Democracy is the road to socialism. The philosophers have only interpreted the world in various ways, the point is to change it. A spectre is haunting Europe, the spectre of communism. Freedom is always and exclusively freedom for the one who thinks differently. Without doubt, machinery has greatly increased the number of well-to-do idlers. The more powerful the class, the more it claims not to exist. The theory of communism may be summed up in one sentence: abolish all private property. The production of too many useful things results in too many useless people. Capitalism is like a sorcerer who is no longer able to control the powers of the netherworld whom he has called up by his spells. Revolutions are the locomotives of history. The working class is revolutionary or it is nothing. The philosophers have only interpreted the world, the point is to change it. The only antidote to mental suffering is physical pain. The history of all hitherto existing society is the history of class struggles. The bourgeoisie has stripped of its halo every occupation hitherto honored and looked up to with reverent awe. The ruling ideas are nothing more than the ideal expression of the dominant material relationships. Capital is dead labor, which, vampire-like, lives only by sucking living labor. I am nothing but I must be everything.
To be radical is to grasp things by the root. Go on, get out. Last words are for fools who haven't said enough. Religion is the impotence of the human mind to deal with occurrences it cannot understand. The proletarians have nothing to loose but their chains. They have a world to win. If anything is certain, it is that I myself am not a Marxist. In proportion therefore, as the repulsiveness of the work increases, the wage decreases. The tradition of all dead generations weighs like a nightmare on the brains of the living. Communism is the riddle of history solved, and it knows itself to be this solution. Labor in the white skin can never free itself as long as labor in the black skin is branded.